Okay. All right. So we are live, Jenny.
Ew.
Okay, so first things first, those of you that are on Facebook watching live, we cannot see any of your commentary, but at the end, I'm going to open up my phone and open up my Facebook, and we will answer a few questions. But if you're making commentary throughout, we appreciate that. We just can't see it because we're coming to you from Zoom, and Zoom is streaming it into Facebook. We're recording it to upload it to YouTube as well, so that this can be a shareable video. I titled this Metabolism Mastery because today we're going to do a brief talk about your metabolism. But before I actually start the talk, I want to introduce my guest. Jenny here, I know her as Jenny Rafferty because that's her maiden name, because she and I both are from Waco. What? And we are both dancers. She was originally at the competitive dance studio that competed against mine, but then she ended up coming to my dance studio. But we're both dancers. She's actually my younger brother's age. She's 3 years younger, but she's one of the people that when I go back home to Waco, I end up having lunch or dinner with her because we're very like-minded. She's a fitness professional. How long have you been a fitness professional now?
14 years.
Yeah. And y'all can't see what a killer body she has underneath those clothes, but she has she's practiced what she's preached. She's always been active. She's always fed her body healthy. And we are very much like-minded on the same page. And Jenny reached out to me yesterday talking about possible ways that we can help her clients and I can help my patients. So for those of you that don't know, I'm an MD. So you can see the little letters right here, which means I was trained in Western medicine. I realized that the whole reason that I went into medicine was not being fulfilled as a medical doctor. I was an anesthesiologist for many years, and I actually left my very lucrative practice as an anesthesiologist, and I now practice functional medicine. A lot of people don't know what functional medicine is, and a lot of people think it's the woo-woo medicine, and a lot of Western medicine people will kind of roll their eyes and be like, oh, you're one of those natural holistic doctors. Absolutely. We learn in the functional medicine world how to give patients the tools to regain their health in the most natural way, because I truly believe at the end of the day, my job as a functional medicine doctor is to help my patients get back to living the way God created humans to live. And God did not create us to live obese, live sad and depressed, live with chronic diabetes, with cancer, with all of these terrible things that humans are suffering from day in and day out. And it doesn't happen easily, but the fact is that functional medicine is not taught in Western medicine, because the Western medicine model is it's a sick care system, and it's meant to keep you in the system and keep you sick. But the thing is that functional medicine doctors like myself need people, fitness professionals, health and nutrition professionals like Jenny, to help the patients reach that end goal. The end goal, I tell all of my patients, I basically compare the functional medicine journey to hiking to the peak of Mount Everest. It's not easy. It's not for someone that's not willing to put hard work, effort, training, and really understand that it's not going to happen overnight. But the peak of the mountain means that you are optimized and at your absolute healthiest and happiest. And once a human tastes what that feels like to be completely at your absolute healthiest, optimized place, there's no unknowing that. And once you feel that, you always want to feel that way. But it doesn't happen easily. And just like hiking on a mountain, there's going to be times where you progress. There's going to be times where you backslide and times that you're on plateaus. But ultimately, my goal is to get a patient to the peak of the mountain. And guess what? People need help getting to the peak of the mountain by the Sherpas like Jenny. So Jenny, can you explain to the audience what metabolism is to begin with?
Okay, well, first of all, somebody is mowing my lawn, so it's getting right here by me. I'm sorry. Okay.
I can't hear it.
Okay, great. Well, like Lauren said, we want to talk to people about understanding. First of all, I always tell people, when we find that we're in a hole and we look around and we're like, I really want to get out of this hole, we have to understand how we got there first. And so that's where I try to come in and I say, listen, if we have our stored body fat, that is essentially energy. Okay. And if we're walking around and we have a lot of excess energy on our bodies, but we don't have any energy living our life, something is wrong. And, something's not working, and that is our metabolism.
So you think about how many people are walking around with extra adipose tissue, extra fat. So that's extra energy, but they have they're tired, they have no energy to do anything. Where's the disconnect? Okay, keep going.
So metabolism is essentially us being able to extract energy from the foods that we eat so that we can live our life. We have to eat it, we have to digest it, we have to absorb it, and then we have to be able to convert that into energy. And so there's a lot of different places that your metabolism can break down along the way. And so in my program and with my clients, I try to educate them about start to finish, what that looks like, how your body works, how, we start from everything, like what the food is, how your digestion works, we talk about gut health, we talk about your thyroid, we talk about, if you cannot create energy from the foods that you're eating, then we need to find out why. Because essentially most people out there will say, just eat less. And I tell people, I equate this like, if I have a car and I don't want to pay for the gas. And so I go pour some olive oil, in my car thinking, well, this looks the same. I mean, it's liquid like it.
Yeah.
It can work. And then my car breaks down. It doesn't work. And I go to a mechanic. He's going to be like, okay, like you're an idiot. Like stop doing that.
Yeah.
But the problem is we are in this kind of crazy town where we go to the doctor and we're like, my car is broken down. And they say, well, just put less olive oil in your car. And we're like, okay,
sounds
so that's
absurd.
helpful. It's not helpful. There's so many different reasons that a calorie is not a calorie. And so I'm making it my mission to teach this and really teach women and men just how to eat, because nobody knows how to do that anymore. We know how to diet, and we know how to gain the weight, but do we know how to eat like a human being, a species specific diet? Because we are a species.
Absolutely.
We are a human being. And so I think I sent you one of my slides from my program where it shows that, a wolf is a species.
Yes.
I mean, they're a canine.
Yep.
Chihuahua is also a canine. But then you look at a Chihuahua and we feed it
crap,
like modernized food.
Yes.
And I used to work for my dad. He's a veterinarian. Let me just tell you about the Chihuahuas that would come in there. They are as wide as they are long. They are not eating a species specific diet. And so then we have breakdown. And so that's the whole, that's what I'm trying to teach. And I want people to understand how we got here.
Yeah.
And how it's really not their fault. I mean, it is so complex. I mean, it's like,
it's not their fault, but also they have to take responsibility because no one is coming to save them. And their primary care doctor, and I'm not throwing shade on any Western medicine doctors because most of them don't know what they don't know until Western medicine fails them. And then that's when they start to think outside of the box and realize we weren't taught everything. In fact, our medical training is highly paid for by big pharma and all big food. Yes, they want us to be sick. So they don't teach us how to give a patient who is motivated to not be on pharmaceuticals the rest of their life, give them the tools to heal their underlying issues. Type 2 diabetes can be reversed. And the sooner that we get a hold of that patient that's showing first signs of insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome, the easier it is to reverse. But guess what? If they come to me and they've been type 2 forever and they've been doing chronic damage to all of their organs, there's not much that I can do compared to if I would have gotten to them 20, 30 years ago.
Exactly.
So, okay. So Jenny, you and I are both a believer in tough love. Yeah. And sometimes people are receptive to that and sometimes others are not.
I just like to call it honest, open communication.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You and I, we see eye to eye on so many things, like the whole movement of intuitive eating and accepting your body at all shapes and whatnot. Can you kind of give me your thoughts on that?
Well, let me just start by saying, I'm not here to say that any body is, I'm not going to judge anybody's body, right? But I'm going to say that if we would just take care of our bodies and love our bodies, because so many of us have decided that we hate this body that we're in. We hate it so much that we either try to punish it and get better by restricting, or we might punish it with exercise, or we just punish it by giving up and then just saying, I accept this. This is who I am now. I'm older, like I can't help it. And, my thing is, I think the more we educate people on how we got here, and understanding you have the power to get out, they become more motivated. They're understanding, oh, it's not, you can't intuitive eat when you are addicted, for lack of a better word, to processed food.
Yeah.
Stuff is made by scientists. So that they literally will plug people up to
literally.
Yes. And say, oh, that got the best reaction, from dope,
Yes.
that produced more dopamine. And so they know this.
Yep.
and they're taking advantage. And if we intuitive eat that stuff, our bodies are not made to intuitive eat that. Real food, maybe. Yeah. I can get on board with that.
Absolutely.
But if you are intuitive eating Oreos, it's not going to. Me too. And it's nothing wrong with you. It's how the human brain works.
Totally.
Every human brain, Sorry.
I always tell my patients that your taste buds get hijacked by the processed foods. And it literally, it takes your taste buds about 21 days to get unhijacked. But people don't realize how much money these food companies spend into studying which chemicals are best going to make that food highly palatable. So there's this bliss point that they look at, where that the perfect combination of ingredients, and when I say ingredients, I mean, it's definitely full of a lot of chemical stuff that is not food. But maybe there's some food-like ingredients. Yes. And they study where this bliss point of you want to come back for more, but it's not so addictive that it's like, the highly addictive drug like cocaine and stuff, right? So they know the bliss point of food so that you get essentially addicted to it. So there's no better word than addiction, because they are literally messing with the chemicals in our brain and our taste buds.
Same ones.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And then, if it's not addiction, then what does that mean? It is your fault. You're the person that can't stop. Everyone else can.
Yep.
We're all fine over here moderating. It's just you.
Yep.
I don't believe that for a second. We all have the same brain. Like it all is designed. It works the same.
Yep.
And think about what this means for our kids. You in the dopamine, guys, listen, if you are pumping all the time, dopamine, screens, food, what is that? When that becomes not enough, they're going to turn to alcohol. They're going to turn to harder drugs. Like I'm telling you, this is how the dopamine pathway works. And so, I won't even go into the whole kids thing. I'm so passionate about this. I have a whole module in my program about how we do this for our kids, but it's just insane. So
I always tell my patients that are parents, please give the gift to your kids that my parents gave to me. I saw my parents exercising regularly all the time and eating healthy my whole life. It was probably the best gift one of the best gifts that they could have given me. And, it's almost overwhelming when I think about the future, and I don't have kids, but the future for the next generation of your kids. When I think about it. Can I say
something on this real quick?
Absolutely.
I get a lot of pushback about this. Like, I don't want to create eating disorders by teaching my children healthy eating habits. You are the perfect example. I've never met a woman more confident and comfortable in her own skin. And you were taught health and fitness and nutrition from a very young age. I think that's the problem.
Yes.
When you're not taught that.
Yes.
And then you're trying to guess, and then you're eating less and moving more. It's
Right.
not about nourishing your body anymore,
Mm-mm.
you know? And so
Understanding that so I use there's this phytonutrient spectrum that I show patients, that why it's so important to eat, you know, the colors of the rainbow when you're eating what you're eating, because if you think about it, if you've ever been to Legoland, there's these ginormous structures, right? And they're made by different sizes of Lego pieces and different colors of Lego pieces. And so our body, if we are feeding our body full of stuff that are fake food, then this is supposed to be the building blocks of what our body is supposed to use to repair anything that needs to be repaired, basically fill in the gaps where our nutrition is missing. And if we feed our body, another analogy I like to use is, if you're going to build a house and you've got a lot, the foundation, you're sitting waiting for the concrete guy to come and lay the cement foundation. And if they come with a big ginormous truck and they empty a whole bunch of styrofoam, you're going to be like, I can't build a solid foundation on styrofoam. So why do we think that it's okay to feed our body these highly processed foods or fast foods, or even restaurant food? Even some of the healthiest restaurant foods still using seed oils. I mean,
I tell my people with the house situation, I say it's one thing when you have this nice, you know, clean landscape to work from, but our current food landscape, you know, so it's like on this big cliff that you're trying to build this house on, because it's treacherous ground now.
Absolutely.
Every corner there's a fast food, gas stations, grocery stores, like the candy aisle, you know, it's like everywhere. That terrain is not just, hey, come pour my foundation, you know? And so when people say, you know, just eat 80-20 or whatever, I'm like, listen, I'm not saying, but you don't know what 100 is. Like, we got to learn what 100 is, or we will never be able to eat 80-20.
Yes.
You know,
and the closer you get to feeling what it feels like when you're optimized, like I'll use I went to Cabo for Christmas, and I was there for 8 days, and I've been on my own functional medicine journey now for about 6 years. And I feel like every vacation and every holiday, it's easier and easier for me to say no to the things that make me feel bad. So I love me a good spicy margarita, but I was there for 8 days and I probably had 4 or 5 margaritas, because I know how alcohol, sugar, gluten, and seed oils make me feel. So if you were to watch how I ate the 8 days there, you would think, man, she's super strict and super healthy. Look, I feed my body how I feel good. And even the little bit that I ate, I probably ate close to 85-15. My knee started hurting towards the end of the trip. I felt signs of being inflamed. And so now it's easier for me to choose my hard. It's way harder for me to deal with feeling crappy versus saying no to the churros or the margarita or whatever, you know?
And it's so hard to get people to really see that, because we get it. We have, you know, we know it. When you can't see it, when you don't know.
Exactly.
And, so
and a lot of them will lose belief that that's even possible, you know?
Yeah. And so when you said like, it's climbing the mountain, I teach people, it's about, I use a staircase, you know, and I just say, you know, it's like, we want to know where we're going, but we got to look where our feet are, and we have to take that very next step. And we have to keep taking them, you know, you cannot try to jump 10 steps up.
No, absolutely. So this is a good segue to talk about, because, you know, one thing that you said was you want to talk about how important it is to honor, respect, and love our bodies. But this, you know, this conversation, some people could see it as, well, are you shaming people that are overweight? Are you shaming parents that are feeding their kids, whatever? And please speak on that.
No, I'm not. I understand it. I understand that, you know, parents, you're doing the best you can. You love your kids, and you are like, you're showing them love the same way maybe you were shown love. And I tell my people all the time, like, it's like when you were little, maybe you fell, you skinned your knee, and your parent came over and they hugged on you and they gave you they gave you a sucker and they said, here you go. Like, I'm so sorry. And you think the sucker is what made you feel better, but it was the love that your mom came and hugged on you. And that I really try to help my clients see the difference between pleasure and joy, because they're not the same.
No.
So joy is this like feeling, that you get like when you hug a loved one. And they say, I think it's like 11 or 12 seconds when your kids are upset, when you're upset, contact for like 11 or 12 seconds, it releases, it releases joy, like you feel it. It's on a chemical level. And then, if the more we seek pleasure begets pleasure. That's all we want. And that's why a lot of us are walking around feeling unhappy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That next handbag, that next this, that next thing, and it leaves us feeling empty. And so I get it. I understand. We've been kind of sold this lie, and I want people, I used to call my program Empowered, because I want to empower you with the knowledge and really the mindset to know, put your cape on, girl. We got this. Like, we're going to do this. You can do anything.
So you have a program, and you have asked me to come along as a potential adjuvant to your clients. Your program is called Metabolism Mastery. It's a 16-week program. You have been going balls to the wall on making this program perfect. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. Okay. So it's 16 weeks because my program used to be 12 weeks, and it was really to help people, lose weight. Well, 3 years later, I'm like, I've learned a few things, guys. Let's do this the right way. So I've added 4 weeks on the beginning, and we take a journey 1 week at a time. Okay. We talk about we don't even try to lose weight right away. And that's frustrating for some people, because they're like, but I'm ready. I'm like, it hasn't worked for you in the past. Like, let's please just try this. And so their goal the first week is just, I need you to maintain your weight and log your food.
Yeah.
So I can see and help set calories and macros for you. And then we work every week. They have a educational video to watch. They have a mindset video to watch. And then they have a weekly focus. That's what you're working on this week. And then every week I review all of their food, and I do a video feedback. So, I like go through it. I'm talking to them about it.
Nice.
And we just do that. We keep going every week. We do a weekly Zoom call as a group. It's just packed full of ways to really give everybody the tools that they need to be able to do it.
But one thing I want to also, speak to the person that's listening to this is probably like, so I have to track my food all the time and blah, blah, blah. Okay, look, anytime that you're starting something new, doing stuff like tracking food is actually really beneficial. I will always tell my patients, I never want you to track your food the rest of your life. That is not a healthy place to be. Yeah, no, absolutely. But I can eyeball, because I know my protein goals each day, and I eat 3 meals a day. And I know that my goal of protein is about 40 to 50 grams at each meal. So I can eyeball and be like, so that's about an 8-ounce steak. So I know that that's close to my goal for my protein. If I'm making a meal that's a smoothie, I know how much protein. And so I can eyeball, but that didn't just happen overnight. Absolutely, at one point. And so many people that have gotten to a place where they've wrecked their metabolism, it's not just you've been eating too many calories. And Jenny and I are not saying that calories don't matter. Calories are one of the many things that go into this total equation of, are you your healthiest? Because there is a component that you can't eat a bajillion calories every day of all whole food and expect to, lose the stored energy that you have if you're constantly eating energy, right? So calories are a part of the equation, but they're one of the many factors. And the fact is that how we got here are all of the factors that got you here that we have to change. We have to unlearn them, like snacking. How many, she and I are essentially the same age. I'm 3 years older, about to turn 43 in a few weeks. But she and I both grew up in that stage where low fat was the rage and snacking is healthy. You're supposed to eat every 2 hours because that's healthier for your metabolism. And guess what? It was all a crock of lies created by these big food companies that want us to believe that their snack foods are healthy for us. And they're not. It's fake food. I hate even calling it food, because it's not food.
It really isn't, y'all. And listen, we're not sitting here judging, because we understand it tastes amazing. It's supposed to. There was lots of money that went into making it taste that way. We know it tastes amazing. Like, honestly, at this point, we don't think that,
No.
but we did, we thought the same thing. So we're not trying to say, why would you like this? But we do understand that, like, you can reset. And I don't know, we want to retrain people, instead of looking at the back of a food label and saying, how many calories does this have? What the heck is in it? That's how, my kids, if they're at the store with me and they'll be like, can we get this? I'm like, oh, I don't know. Let's see what's in it. And he's like, he can't even pronounce it. And I'm like, well, do you think that is like, do you think we should do that? Or should we get ingredients and go make that at home? And we just do that,
I love it.
So
literally, like, I don't know how many times I have to drill into people, because they'll send me a picture of a food. Like, is this good? I'm like, well, take a picture of the ingredients and tell me.
exactly. That's
the ingredients has to be the first thing that you look at. And good rule of thumb, if you don't recognize the words in the ingredients, it's probably a fake food. But there's this thing called Google. You can look it up to see and verify if it's a fake food or not, or a fake food ingredient, if you will. So we'll wrap this up, because we've been talking almost 30 minutes. I knew that.
Sorry.
I know.
We knew we were going to do this.
We knew, and we want to respect y'all's time. But we are going to be collaborating, because the functional medicine aspect of it is something that we do something more than just your primary care doctor. There are a whole host of labs. And in fact, I will just share my screen real fast. I do labs on myself, functional medicine labs, on a regular basis, so that I can share them with patients, because I'm not going to share my patients, because that's violation of HIPAA, but I can share my own. And so I'm going to share my labs that I got opened up right here, so that I can show you what I did my labs, in October. And so these are all of my these are previous. So I got them done last January, and then I got them done again in October. And so if you'll notice, I've got multiple pages, 32 pages of labs, where I'm just not looking at just my fasting glucose and A1C, but I'm looking at my adiponectin, ferritin, and fasting insulin. Am I insulin resistant? Guess what? I've reversed my insulin resistance, but that was originally what brought me to functional medicine. My LFTs, my liver enzymes. I look at my thyroid. I've got a hormone panel. And if you guys want to go, I actually, a few months ago, I did this on my Facebook page where I showed everything. But basically, I did a whole micronutrient panel. This is one of my favorite ones, where you look at all the micronutrient levels. So basically, you can see I'm 100% on everything. This is another point that we wanted to make, is that if a person looks healthy on the outside, you don't know until you look at them on the inside. So I look healthy on the outside, and I'm healthy on the inside when you look at my lab.
Mitochondrial function.
Yeah, exactly. I've got good mitochondria. But this is not all by accident. But the micronutrients, I mean, you look at all the vitamins, you look at all of the minerals, you look at your metabolites, you've got your amino acids, you've got your antioxidants, you've got your omegas. And so these are the things that your primary care doctor is not going to do with you. And most functional medicine doctors have a super high fee for you to enroll in their program. We're talking anywhere from, $5,000 to $15,000. And we are going to be offering her clients initially only functional medicine lab testing. So those that want to go above and beyond and see me as a telemedicine consult, so that I can hear ultimately kind of what's going on with them, order maybe all of those labs, maybe only half of those labs, and then meet with me again after the labs come back, so that they can kind of have a better understanding of like where they're at nutritionally and on a cellular level. So this program is essentially something that I will 100% refer my patients to, that will coincide. So Jenny and I are perfect partners, right? A functional medicine doctor needs someone like Jenny. Jenny needs someone like a functional medicine doctor to ultimately serve our clients and patients at their very best, so that they can get to the mountaintop a little bit more easily. But it's not going to be easy. Don't want to sugarcoat that. Nothing good in life comes easily. But ultimately,
cheerleader over here.
Yes, exactly. Like-minded people that are here to help you be your absolute very best. So that being said, if you are interested in doing the 16-week program with Jenny. I'm going to need you to just on the comments on Facebook, or I'm going to upload this to YouTube as well. I just want you to say, I'm interested, and leave your email address, and she will email you all of the details, and we'll go from there. Originally, it's only going to be offered to the people that she or her clients for the functional medicine. Ultimately, I think I will be offering this to the public maybe later in the year, but it's not going to be until I work with her clients. And I'm working with someone else that's like-minded. I think I told you about in Louisiana. I'm going to offer that to hers as well. But since we did say that we were going to offer up or answer some questions, I will get on Facebook and see if there is anyone. I already see Michelle Schock has already left her email address. So we already have a few email addresses. Okay. Yes. Okay. So Joe said, life is just too simple for people to understand. The food industry is like tobacco vaping companies these days. Oh, so true.
Tobacco industry, all the marketing people actually, the food industry stole the tobacco industry's formula.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, and then I have one of my patients. I can vouch for both of these ladies. I've done Jenny's health coaching via her Empowered program. I was
Wait, who is that?
Holly Bennett. Holly Hurst.
Holly?
Yeah, love her.
I love Holly.
Yes, it was instrumental in getting me off the diet Coke, refined food, and sugar addiction through learning why I was addicted. I am a current patient of Dr. Fitz, who has helped further my health journey through functional medicine. Both have been life-changing and life-giving, and I'm so grateful. And we're grateful for you, Holly.
I'm so happy right now.
We all went to Midway. Go Midway.
Yeah.
Dolores said, love this. And Michelle left her email address, and that's it. So I guess we talked too long to, I will say that we truly are inspired by you guys that decide to take on a very hard thing, because it is hard to swallow your ego and say, I thought that I had it figured out. I've tried on my own, but I need help. And we're here from a completely judge-free zone, but just a place of like, we just want to use what we have in here and our life experience to help people that cross our path. That is it. And if you follow me on my Dr. Lauren Fitz on Instagram, where I'm most active, my YouTube channel, I haven't been active there. I need to get active there again. But if you follow me on any of the social media platforms, you'll see a common theme that everything that I do, whether it's teaching or dancing or inspiration, like I just want to help people understand that this life was meant to be an abundant life, full of love and joy and activity and abundance. And so many people are not living to their fullest because they're weighted down by extra weight, chronic illness, depression, anxiety, all of the things that I truly believe God did not design us to suffer through. So, Jenny, any last words?
No, I mean, this was so much fun because everything that came out of your mouth, we didn't really know what we were going to talk about.
Nope, we didn't.
Yes, that's in my program. Like we really are
we are very like-minded.
So like-minded, and it just makes me really happy to be able to bring this element to my clients.
For sure. And those of you that are interested, I am taking new patients. I own a functional medicine medical spa. So I do functional medicine and medical aesthetics, but Larimar Med, if you go to larimarmed.com, that's LARIMARMED.com. I do have a high quality brand of supplements. The nutraceutical company that private labeled for us is in my opinion, the best. It's orthomolecular. And I do believe in supplementation. I use supplements in all of my patients, but I will tell you, if you haven't changed your diet, don't waste your money on supplements, because it's like pissing in the ocean. You got to change what you're eating first before you even think about supplements. So if you're looking for a way to support me in my endeavor and you're not ready to become my patient yet, because no, I do not take health insurance. Most functional medicine doctors do not. But a great way to support me is by going to Larimar Med and looking at our shop, because we've got a ton of really high quality supplements. I take them every day. I start my patients on them. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call us at Larimar Med as well. I've got the most amazing staff who are all very like-minded, and we are here to help facilitate you in you becoming your healthiest, happiest, most beautiful inside and out self. So
Yeah.
that's all I got. And we did this in 34 minutes. So much for the 15
kinda
minutes.
proud. I'm really
know.
kind of proud. Like, this is good.
Because we could have easily talked way over an hour.
Yeah. I know. We're just, next time you're here, we're just going to have to get together.
100%.
We're 4 hours dinner.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you, and I'm gonna end this on Facebook. If you guys do have questions, here's the thing. Another way that you can help us is commenting on the video, sharing the video, because I will tell you, these social media platforms like to what's called shadow ban and quiet voices like ours, because ultimately that doesn't go with the thing that the advertisers sell. They want to sell you on all of the things that make you feel inadequate, the quick fixes, all of the things they don't want you to know how much you actually have control over taking back your health. So you can help us out by getting the word out, sharing, tagging, commenting, all of that stuff does help all of the social media algorithms. But we appreciate you for listening to us. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop them here, and we'll do our best to try and answer them. Okay. Y'all have a happy Friday. Stay warm wherever you are. I know Texas is not having a problem staying warm, but it's
Cold here.
Is it cold?
Well, I'm not going to complain. It's not like that.
Yeah.
It's at least sunny. Yeah.
My blood is still Texas. So this Illinois cold, I'm still not used to. So, all right, guys, see y'all later. Happy Friday.
Bye.
All right, cool. And I'll stop the recording now.